Hey guys, alright, so we're going to go through the medical kit first, I guess. So that's the emergency medical kit, and then I've got backup supplies in here, which I'll explain a little bit later. And this is just mostly to replenish the medical kit, and then I've got a little bit of a pharmacy for just like minor inconveniences and such. Alright, so first of all, on the very outside of the medical kit, obviously you can just take this off so you can throw it to somebody if needs to be, either if they fell down a crevasse or if you're under fire or whatever. So this is just 2 sets of gloves and 2 medical masks so that you can just put those on right away. And so this is the way that it would fall when it's sitting in your pack if you just decided to open it when it's on the pack. So I tried to organize this in such a way that like major traumas would be all in one area as much as possible, but to do sizing and stuff, some stuff is not, as accessible as I'd like it. So this back pocket here and this major stuff here is all just for major traumas. So we've got surgical kit, which I keep in a bag just because the zipper is broken. It's just like a shitty case. See? So I've got a full surgical kit. Sterile razors, everything you need, clamps and all of that. So that's only in the back. Obviously you're not going to need that for anything small, most likely. Likewise, gunshot, chest, or any sort of puncture wound really to the chest. Got a seal for that, in case you get a chest wound. And then we've got pill bottles stuck in the elastic. So this is just acetaminophen, 500 milligrams each. These are, I believe, actually, yeah, ibuprofen. And then these, yeah, are benzodiazepines, like Xanax, and then prescription painkillers. And all these were obtained legally with prescription. But, if you ever break an arm or something, go to the emergency room and they give you painkillers, it may or may not be more beneficial to you to put them in your camping bag in case somebody breaks a leg out in the woods. It's much worse to have a broken leg out in the woods than when you're sitting at home. So I always save painkillers like that for in case of emergencies. Syringe, needle, IVs and stuff. You can easily make an IV out of a syringe. Tweezers, super glue for if you get like a cut, relatively large cut really quickly. You need to seal it quickly. That's a good way. Butterfly bandages and a bunch of alcohol swabs. Obviously these are really important to have around. Back here, we've got a couple of sterile wipes. Obviously a bunch of small band-aids. I also sometimes keep just a couple band-aids in that 9mm pouch that I had the gloves and the mask in. Just in case of boo-boos as you're walking along, you can just get them right out of there. Also, obviously, just antibiotic ointment. It's really good to have around. And then, clipped on here, I keep one of these little alligator clips, just in case you need an emergency clamp or whatever you might need that for. Those are always helpful. So that's that whole first section right there. Then moving on, some more larger stuff that for like emergency medical. We've got a couple of really large gauze dressings. I also usually keep 2 of the big surgical pads in there. I've got them in the bag that's right over there that I was showing you earlier. 2 big QuikClot sponges. These are really expensive, but they're, if you get a life-threatening wound, they could save your life. If somebody gets a gash, or for whatever reason you end up with an enormous wound on your body, QuikClot is a great thing to have around. So moving on. One thing that I keep in my medical kit that somebody pointed out I was lacking a while ago, a good friend of mine, is an EpiPen. You always think about gunshot wounds and all this crazy stuff, but sometimes you forget, you might be with somebody who's allergic to bees, or for whatever reason you need an EpiPen. So remember, an EpiPen will definitely save somebody's life in the right situation. So you can always keep one of those in there. I have medical tape. This is 8 feet of medical tape just wrapped around a card so it takes up less profile. Burn gel, especially when you're out in the woods and stuff, burns are really common. I also keep a couple of these in my car, just in case you burn yourself when you're down there. I put a little bit of Velcro stick on the bag, when a little sort of side that I knew I could stick a lighter in. It's just always good to have a lighter whenever you're needing to sterilize things like tweezers or, I've got sterile needles in here for sutures. So yeah, moving on. Sterile suture kits. Just each of these is a suturing needle, bent, and then thread, all sterile, packed up here, in case you need to stitch something up. Steri pads, which are just, really good alternative to butterfly band-aids, and they keep it sterile. Those are really useful as well. Some smaller blood clotting sponges. These are sort of like QuikClot. They're not nearly as good, and they're not nearly as large, but for smaller wounds, they're great coagulant bandages. And then, finally, back here, I have a whole bunch of just smaller gauze sponges for small cuts, and then I have Israeli battle dressing. And this is, again, just would only be used in like a life-threatening emergency. But for that, they're great. They have a dressing sponge with anticoagulant, and then a wrap that clips on to make a tourniquet. So it's like multiple steps all in one. These are really great. You can get them on the internet or something, I'm sure a lot of camping stores carry them. So moving on to the last section here, I just reorganized this, and so I now even have a little bit of spare room because I did some modifications, but this is just basically extras and stuff that you wouldn't really need to get in a huge rush. The snake bite kit is in here, and one reason that it is in somewhere, it's sort of back, is that for most snake bites, honestly, there is absolutely no way whatsoever that you are going to get to a hospital, even within hours, at all. The absolute best thing is just to stay put and call for medical. So I honestly wouldn't recommend using snakebite kit unless you absolutely have to. But in any case, smelling salts. I just keep them in this, they're like individual crazy glue, but these are just smelling salt packages, in case somebody gets knocked out, passes out for whatever reason, and you need to wake them up, get them to move. Individually packed smelling salts. Long roll of gauze bandage, 2 packets of emergency vitamin C packages, well, just tons and tons of vitamins. Extra needles for your syringes, in case you have to reuse your syringes, you don't have to reuse needle tips. 2 emergency blankets, you never know how many people are going to get injured. It's always good to have a little bit of extra, so 2 emergency blankets. Also great for many other purposes. This is a self-adhesive bandage wrap, and again I wrapped around a card so it takes up less room. It's about 5 feet long. More syringe needle tips, moleskin in case you just wear out your feet walking too much, and then finally amoxicillin. Amoxicillin, basically the way you can get this without a prescription is go and buy it for a fish tank. And a lot of the time you need to treat your fish tank with amoxicillin, so just go and get some amoxicillin tablets at your fish store, and then you'll have antibiotics on hand all times. So that's the full medical kit right there. Basically, the only things I have basic backups for almost everything, and then the one thing that doesn't fit in the medical kit is a aluminum splint. So this is just, it unfolds. You can wrap it around a full leg, arm, anything, and splint up whatever you need. So that has to stay in this bag just because it won't fit in here comfortably. More amoxicillin, I just keep a whole bunch of it around. You never know when you're going to get an infection. Bottle of isopropyl alcohol that I've just wrapped up, just in case, antidepressant. You can also use it for lighting things, whatever. And then I just keep up a little backup pharmacy. So I've got 6 compartments in this bag. I keep a prescription stimulant in case you really need to be on the move. Prescription painkiller backups. This is prescription backup benzodiazepines, which are like anti-anxiety in case somebody's getting a panic attack, or you just need to really get a good night's sleep since if you've been moving all day and are really nervous or something. Anti-allergy tablets, anti-diarrhea tablets, and just regular acetaminophen painkillers. That's everything. Yeah, cool. Enjoy.